Sacrifice so special, you abusing the years. Lord forgive my brother, he's so loud, yeah. Gotta spoon feed you like a baby, cause you knew what it is. I pray to see them gates, that's all I want, yeah. Girl, you know we only see the body. I'm loading up on faith, I got deposits. Scriptures in my palm, my angel status. This ain't for the weak, and that's a promise, yeah.
Yeah, double-minded, I can't deal with it. Thinking back on my father's day in the field with it. A lot of Israel fathers receiving jail visits.
Hey, perfect example. When that was what it was. When that was what it was, Black Wall Street is a great example. When that was what it was, that was supposed to be rifle, right? Boom. But then they made it to, so we can't do that. You know what I mean? So, like I'm saying, like.
But let me show you what's the real key that we can pull from that. Yeah, we have Black Wall Street, we had money, we had a whole bunch of things going on, but guess what we wasn't doing?
The black church is actually one of the biggest things that came out of Black Wall Street. You know
guess what we wasn't doing within all of that?
What?
Keeping the commandments of God. So he let them rip it all away from us. Because it all come back to being cursed for not keeping his commandments, bro. Right. We can try to build, but if we don't keep the commandments, the Lord is going to give them the authority to throw down. So it don't matter, brother. If we don't come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, we're not going to prosper.
That's right.
We've been marching for a long time. We've been speaking out against these things for a long time. We've been rioting for a long time. It don't do nothing.
Yeah, you can march all you want, man, because, man, that shit ain't going to do nothing just because. First of all, I like how you approached me from the jump when you said what nationality and ethnicity am I, you know what I mean? The first thing we got to get through as people is, you know what I'm saying, we not no color. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of my biggest things when I'm Aboriginal American, you feel me? I'm not African nothing, you know what I'm saying? My great grands is from here, from the Moroccan Empire, you feel me? So this is God's land. This is our land already, you feel me? So I like how you approach me. But at the same time, like, man, how we give and govern to all these people, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could just stop in all way, shape, or form and just flip the system.
So, you said your great-grandfather on your father's side?
Yeah, my mother and my father's side is Aboriginal American.
They come from Morocco?
America is a part of the Moroccan Empire. The America that we know is LLC. The America, you know what I'm saying? America was spelled with a K before it was spelled with C.
So does your grandfather descend from the transatlantic slave trade?
No.
They did not.
My grandfather was already here. My great was already here. Columbus came to somewhere where there was already people.
This is the thing about that. What's your name again, King?
John Wright.
John Wright. So peep this. When you get into all that Moroccan stuff, right? You talking about the Treaty of Marrakesh and all those type of things. That's still even pseudo, because even when we go back to, even when we go back, because we can't even prove that. Even when you get into the Israelites, let me get 2nd Esdras 13. So even when you get into the Israelites, far before Christopher Columbus, right? Far before neo-colonialism, far before there was even a Morocco. Because you got to think when people say that because I used to rock and be under that same understanding. Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution, non-civilizatory mortus, in full life, bonded birth certificate, capture my straw man, Treaty of Marrakesh, you know what I'm saying, all of that stuff, but when it gets, getting your apostille and all that, but that's all false. Because at the end of the day, even before Morocco was even a country, we was a people. So you had it, even before the Morocco was an empire, right?
It's not just here, it's Africa, all that.
But then that's even pseudo too, because what we can't negate is that the scriptures predated all that.
What do you mean by pseudo?
Pseudo means false.
Okay.
Means false. Because the scriptures predate all that. And even when you talk about your people coming on this side of the world, because King John, we don't negate that. Yes, there was some of our people already over here. But we even see in the Bible when that happened, after the Assyrians. You follow what I'm saying? Because we went through multiple captivities as Israelites. Like, you know about Egypt. You know what I'm saying? There was the Assyrians, the Babylonians, you know what I mean? The Persians, the Medes, the Romans, the Greeks, and so forth and so on. So we can see there in the time of when our people came over here to this side of the world, who you would consider the so-called Native Americans and so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, bring that out, King. You start verse 40.
It's the 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 40.
Bring it out.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king who Salmanessar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
See what I'm saying? So even we see in the
Where
biblical
exactly
chronology,
did he speak of?
that's over here, what they would call Arsareth at that point in time, which way predates before there was a.
And that's America.
That's so-called Americas. You follow what I'm saying? Before, because even when people say Al-Marak, Little Turtle Island, all that's pseudo. You follow what I'm saying? That's more things. Even when you study the ancient maps, it even disproves that. So it's more things to keep us in a rat race, so that we don't return to our true heritage and know who we truly are as Israelites, and so we can keep the law, statutes, and commandments and things of that nature. So, and that's all on that, King. And that goes into those 10 tribes. You follow me? Because it's 12 tribes. You got the northern kingdom of Israel, right? Which you would say the so-called Hispanics, you know, the Native Americans, the Seminole Indians, and things of that nature. And then you got the southern tribe, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? So during these multiple captivities, we were split as a kingdom. Because after King Solomon, and another thing that the king had brought out very beautifully is when you say allegory, remember you're like, no, it's some real history in this. No, these is real people. King Solomon, real person. King David, after King Solomon died, the kingdom split. With Jeroboam and Rehoboam, his sons. So there was a king that went over the northern.
When you say these is real people, you know that as fact or belief?
No, we know this is fact, and this is how we know as well. Not just based on the biblical chronology, but when we go into extra biblical sources, like the Assyrian empires and all these other empires that have nothing to do with the understanding of the Bible, they have these in their artifacts. You follow what I'm saying? The Narmer stones. Now, what's some other artifacts?
You got the Los Lunas Decalogue stones.
The Los Lunas Decalogue stones and
Mayan
countless other artifacts. So we can cross-reference. And you got to think about this is like the Moabite stone throughout the king, and all these stones that literally have the chronology of the history and say, hey, we went against the Israelites in this kingdom, and we lost 2 million men. You know what I'm saying?
Even Salakia all the way back to Egypt with the Beni Hassan, the origin of the Israelites.
Yeah, the Menara Stella. Alexander the Greek. You follow what I'm saying? Did you know? Grab that right quick. Did you know that's even in the Bible? Alexander the Greek. Because we went through Greek captivity as Israelites. There's a time, you got to think, where the Greek empire conquered the whole world.
That's right.
They because the Persians was in the King Darius and them, Xerxes and all of them, they was in power, real people, right? Then the Greeks came and conquered them. And all these times we have been in these various captivities. And that's how we've lost our identity. Because just how we doing in America, how we saying we are American and these different things, African American. You see, we've taken on these pseudo identities that aren't based on the biblical facts of who we are in the bloodline. So watch this, King.
So if you was to get a job right now, you would put...
I'm an Israelite. I'm Israelite. That's what you should put as well. Israelite. Well, under other, put Israelite. Go ahead, King.
Because you said Aboriginal, right? Just to show you what the Aboriginal means. It means inhabiting or existing in a land from the earliest times or from before the arrival of colonists. So yeah, we were here before that, but we originated from somewhere else before we were even here. See that? That's right.
The 10 and 46 too. Get that Galatians 10 and 46 too. This is what the king is bringing out about the history. So another thing about the scriptures that's very powerful, a lot of people don't realize this is our historical record. This is our heritage. Like King was bringing out, when you go to the so-called Chinese people, they got thousands of years of documented history. You go to the Germans, you go to all these different nationalities, Ethiopians. You got something, King? Okay, so from that perspective, where's our history? It's right here in the scriptures. But they tell us that it's a religion, so we look at it through a religious lens, Christianity and all these things, but it's not. It's actually our heritage, our culture, our customs, our dietary laws we saw, how we treat our women, our laws in marriage and all those things. Bring that out, King. No, we're going to get on that, but the thing is, why we ain't diverting that, but what we wanted to make sure is that first we showed you who you are as an Israelite. How you doing, sister? Good to see you again. We wanted to show you, be careful. Our insurance don't cover that.
Yes, it do.
But we wanted to show you first as who you are as an Israelite, because marriage and customs don't matter if you don't know the laws of who you are and how, because even, which we'll get into, Lord willing, when you ask about multiple wives, we can't teach you about multiple wives and how to govern before you know that you're an Israelite. Because knowing you're an Israelite is going to determine those laws that you got to follow in terms of multiple wives and so forth and so on. I know, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. First, I wanted to show you this since we brought it up, to prove the history, like Alexander the Greek, that all of this stuff was in the scriptures, right? Go ahead, King.
This is 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, and smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
See that? So it's just showing even the chronology in terms of real historical facts of wars and kingdoms and things of that nature. It's all chronicalized here in the scriptures. Any more questions on that before we move on?
I don't know nobody on this road that can save your soul. Almost lost control.